Hello, and welcome to Elliot and English. Today, we are looking at mistakes people make while speaking English because of words that look similar in Spanish and English. Words that are similar in different languages are called cognates, or we could call them friends. Let's look at some examples with Spanish and English. The words tourist and turista, the words activity and actividad, or salary and salario. But we also have false cognates, or false friends, when words look the same, but actually don't have the same meaning. Today, we will look at three of these, and how they cause problems. The words present, demand, and actually. So, let's start the video. Our first false friend is the verb present. Let's look at some sentences. I have to present an exam tomorrow. You must present the forms to the government. My boss presented me to his wife. All of these sentences use present. Now, to understand why these are mistakes, let's look at that verb, present, in English. As a verb, it can be used for a few different things. For example, to present an award to someone. They presented an award to the actor. Also, we use it to give or to show information, like the example, the scientist presented her research to the team, as in a presentation. Let's go back to our sentences. In the first sentence, I have to present an exam tomorrow. Okay, we can't use present here. What can we use? Any idea? In English, we use the verb take for exams and tests. The correct way to say it is, I have to take an exam tomorrow. Never say present an exam. Always use take. The next sentence. He must present the forms to the government. Okay, so this might not be wrong if the idea were to show the forms, like mostrar. But what if the idea is entregar? What should we use? We can use the verb submit. Submit we use when you are delivering documents or forms in an official way. For example, when you are online and you're going to send information, usually the button will say submit. You can submit a request, or we can submit an application for a job. So it's much better to say he submitted the forms, not presented. Now, the last sentence. My boss presented me to his wife. So we do use present in this way in English. It's not wrong. It's not technically a mistake, but it sounds very formal, very official, very old-fashioned. So you should try to use the verb introduce instead to sound more informal. It's much more common. To me, it sounds strange to hear a friend say, he presented me to his wife. It's much more common to hear, he introduced me to his wife. Okay, so remember, say take for exams, submit for forms or documents, and introduce for people. Okay, on to the next false friend. This one is one that I almost never hear said correctly. It's so hard not to use demand like you use it in Spanish. Let's look at this sentence. The employee is demanding the company. We know the mistake is with the verb demand. To demand in English is like exigir. For example, the boss demanded that employees work on Saturday, meaning that the boss is very demanding, exigente. But we never use demand for legal action. The verb in English for legal action is, any idea? It is to sue. So the correct way to say it is the employee is suing the company. And the noun form in English is a lawsuit, una demanda. I could ask, could the employee win the lawsuit? So never use demand for legal action. Use to sue and lawsuit. last false friend is maybe one you are familiar with. It's common to learn about some of these in classes, but let's review it, because I still hear it very often. Take the sentence, I am actually studying English. We know that actually is not the same in Spanish and English. Actually in English means something real, realmente, in realidad. For example, maybe you visit a famous building for the first time, and you say, the building is actually smaller than it looks, meaning in reality, it is smaller than you thought. How then do we express the idea of something happening now in English? Well, we use the word currently. So the correct sentence is, I am currently studying English. Never use actually for something happening now. Use currently. Well, those are our 3 false friends for today. In the future, I will review many more. But for now, remember that presentar is not always present. Demandar is not always demand. And actualmente is never actually. False friends are some of the hardest mistakes to correct because even when you know the mistake, your brain will still revert to the verb in Spanish. So it's important to practice. If you want, try to write an example sentence using the verbs correctly in the comments.